by focusing on the institution of Obas in Yoruba land. I have once described Nigeria as a country of 2,000 kings and one republic, which is self-contradictory. Republicanism and monarchy are self-contradictory, but that is what we have in Nigeria. Thousands of kings, in Yoruba land, in the north. The position of traditional rulers is very important because they provide rallying points for the people's mobilization, especially in the rural areas. They also provide channels of communication between government and the people. They are also, in some cases, religious leaders, and this is more so in the Islamic area of northern Nigeria, where emirs are also religious leaders. But whatever any traditional ruler may claim to follow, either Christianity or Islam or traditional religion, they perform, even up to today, religious functions. If you go to Ife, I lived in Ife when I was young, and what we used to say about Ife was that there are 366 days in Ife when one local god must be propitiated. There is always a celebration of one god or the other. And it still goes on. Never mind whether the one is a Muslim or a Christian. I live in Ede, the hometown of Shinyang. And Ede is almost 95% Muslim. For them, Ede is famous in Yoruba history for Shango. When you go to the palace, you see the figurine of Shango. And I once discussed with the Alaf, because Shango was an Alaf who was deified, Alaf of the 15th or 16th century, who was so powerful and was deified. When the Alaf of Oyo, the present one, Oba His Royal Majesty, Oba Lamidi, at the end. And when I see in the papers, some Obas in Yoruba land being referred to as their Imperial Majesty, I just laugh. I mean, well, perhaps, how do you become an Imperial Majesty without an empire? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I discussed with the Allah when he called me and said, I would like to make you the Archbishop for you. And I said, can't you see you are a Christian? He said, I know. I will even follow you to the church to celebrate it. You know the Allah is a Muslim. And he then said, you see Shango Shrine in the palace. I appointed somebody who is in charge of it. I'm a Muslim. I go to Mecca. In fact, the time he was Amiru Hajj. You know, but it doesn't mean that I should abandon what my people believe in. So all of us in Yoruba land are also religious leaders. And they are regarded as very powerful. That is why you have the other referred to as Ikuba Bayeye. Also almost omnipotent. When you go to Ilesha, Deshaland, you will see people at the outside of the palace. When the cabbage is coming out, you see people say, Ojo Yera, Ojo Babare. Does it look like your mother or your father? This is Obas are religious leaders. Unfortunately, because of the apparent power of the Obas, they are coming to clash with political leaders. Many of you will remember that the father of the President Allah was banished, I think in 1954, was removed from the throne and banished to Ilesha. There have been Obas whose salaries were reduced to pennies, as a result of politics. But the fact remains that no matter what you think, the position of Obas remained very important. In India, which had some similar history with us, the Maharajas were removed from power, but their wealth and properties were left in their hands. I don't believe there is any regime in Nigeria that will be powerful enough to do away with Obas and Emirs. No government can do what was done in India, because Obas, as I said, are very powerful. Here in Ibadan, the position of the Yoruba is increasing every day, incrementally. So even here, not to talk about the traditional areas of Oyo, Ife, Ilesha, and so on, the position of Obas is very formidable. Now, having said this, one of the greatest challenges with the Obaship institutions in these days of modernization, and as young men are coming to the throne, they must learn to keep intact the mystery and mystery surrounding their positions. They must avoid being seen at every party and social gatherings, behaving like ordinary people. Once this becomes a pattern, they will lose all respect and loyalty of the people. So this behoves on them to maintain a reasonable distance from the hoi polloi of the land and stay away from the corrupting influence of money and republican ethics of trade and commerce. Obas, no matter how young, are regarded as fathers of the people in Yoruba land. This is why older people must bow, prostrate, and kneel down before rulers young enough to be their children. Respect is not to the person of the ruler, but the institution. I once went home to my town. The then Oba was a schoolmate of mine and a relation. I went to the palace, and in Yoruba history and culture, you don't go to the palace empty-handed. You must carry something, because the Oba has to, receive so many visitors every day. So when you are going to the team, make sure you carry something. So I went the back of my car, the cartons of beer, stout, brandy, whiskey. I carried all this to the palace. And when I got to the palace, I prostrated. Not go on that back. I said, Kabiyesi, just let me prostrate. Then I stood up, and Kabiyesi moved to me, wanted to hug me. I said, don't hug me. Then he started laughing. He said, what are you talking about? I said, no, don't hug me, because as representative of this town, maybe you don't know. You carry the power of the town. Because as Kabiyesi of my town, if you are going on the road and riot breaks out, they will not catch you. No, certainly. Because if they catch you, it's a humiliation of my town. So whatever they are put inside you, you may not know. I don't want to go.